everybody. It is grocery day and oh, so bright. Oh, that's better. It's grocery shopping day today. Oh, I've really been missing vlogging because you guys probably won't notice. By the time this video goes up, you probably won't notice, but I've taken a few days here and there breaks from doing it because I've been so busy with the shop, with the Happy Nest, because of that launch. I've been packing orders and trying to get stock in and just do everything, and it's just been crazy. And I've been prepping for the Bella Joe, my other shop, that launch for this Sunday coming up, because I'm releasing pre-order on advent calendars, which will be actually open until September, but there'll be a sale on for the first week on those at this stage. So it's just been a lot. I'm just trying to do it all. So I'm so happy just to be vlogging today, a good old grocery haul. And because it's my second challenge week. If you haven't seen last week, definitely have a look at last week's video, or videos, shall I say. The first one was pretty long, but just stick it out. Like, if you're a VIP member, I know you'll probably watch it because, you know, you're interested in that kind of stuff. But I was showing everyone how I planned and meal planned, trying to do breakfast, lunch, dinner, morning tea, afternoon tea. Very strict budget of trying to do $100 for the week for 4 people. And I say 2 adults and 2 kids, but I'm portioning out for adults, 4 adults, because I know a lot of you have older kids and things, so I was trying to do that. It was extremely hard with the prices of everything going up, even milk going up. I only got 2 litres last week and barely lasted. Like, it was so hard. So it's been a challenge. Last week I totally went over the $100. I did spend less than I estimated, just slightly. But in saying that, watch the video that I've just put up before this video. So hopefully that was like yesterday. I've probably put it up, where I talk about how I'm using stuff from previous, like from last week, that actually obviously can cross over. So stuff that from that shop, so flour and stuff. Now that me spending last week was me buying everything from scratch, because or maybe they just moved out of home and trying to start, or maybe your family just really on basics and really don't have anything. So there were a few things that sort of cross over, which is good. I don't have to buy this week. I have estimated, I've done my meal plan like I did last week. I've estimated how much I think I'm going to spend, and it's still over $100. I've tried so hard to get it under, but unless we're just living on rice and beans for the week, it's not going to happen. Well, I'm trying to keep things as normal as possible, especially, well, because we've got the kids, but especially because I want to still include veggies and fruits and, you know, just bits of everything that we normally have. I'm just trying to get the money down for you guys as part of a challenge. And it is a challenge. I'm telling you, it's a challenge. But my week, like my thoughts this week are definitely shopping as though I normally do, like thinking ahead fortnightly. So when I shopped last week, I did think, okay, some of this stuff's going to go into next week, and try to think that way, because I want you guys to shift to doing fortnightly. I had a few comments on the video I did last week. I can't remember which one, like which video it was, whether it was the grocery haul or that. Some people were like, well, not some, only 1 or 2 people were like, too much planning, blah, blah. If you don't plan, I'm telling you, if you don't do a proper meal plan and actually plan properly and go with things you already have and all of that, you're gonna overspend. Like you are. I used to spend, based on my normal budget that you normally see me do, like I used to spend, and it was only 3 of us back then, by the way, I used to spend about $5,000 more on groceries a year. That's what I worked out. It was insane. And all due to not planning properly. You will overspend for sure. I mean, you do what works for you, but I'm telling you, plan. Proper meal planning. Don't just go, we're going to have sausages tonight, blah, 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 blah. Like, that's not good enough. You need to go through your fridge, freezer, and pantry, work out what you've got first, and work from there. And that's what I've done this week. I've pretended that I have nothing else, and I've just gone on from last week, just so the challenge follows on for you guys. But under normal circumstances, that's exactly what I do. And VIP members see me do that when I do their video on the VIP lounge. So it's just, it's so vital. I couldn't believe that people, like, I understand people might not have time and stuff, but it's worth the time when you're spending thousands of dollars more on groceries than you probably should. And when you're super busy and you're a parent, you don't always have time to spend that time going out to the supermarket every day and doing this and standing in lines and, you know, all of that, you know, and you're working and all of that, you know, it's got to be done after school or it's got to be done after work, and it's just an hour you don't want to take. You know what I mean? I suppose it depends where you live, but for me, absolutely not. So it just, yeah, it just helps in all rounds. Plus, obviously, when I meal plan, I can think ahead with meals and then cook anything I need or could cook, you know, just in one session, and then I don't have to worry about it every single night. So it cuts time out a lot for me. It really does. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I mean, everyone's different, of course. I just do these videos to give you guys an idea of what I do and how it helps me. And then if it helps anyone else, great. If it doesn't, it's not for you, just don't watch the channel and just don't worry about it. Do you know what I mean? Do your own thing, and that's what works for you. But there are a lot of people out there that I get messages from, and like, they can't feed their families. You know, they cannot feed their kids. They're picking mold off bread for school lunches. Like, they do not have money. They don't know how they're going to feed their family tomorrow. Like, that's what it's like. So that's why I share the videos, to try to help people. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's tough for a lot of people. And I just want to help people if I can. So it's up to you if you watch or not. But if what I do is not for you, just don't watch the channel. It's as simple as that. Alright, so I am obviously estimating over my $100 budget. However, I have got it down from last week, which was good, at I think it was 121. Is that what I said before? 121. When I estimate prices, by the way, on a shopping list, you should always take a shopping list, for sure. Always estimate, do your shopping list. Always estimate what you think things are going to cost. Look it up online if you have to. And round it up to the nearest dollar. That's what I do, because then it becomes a nice, if you stick to your list, it becomes a nice surprise when, if I'm estimating 121, I'll probably spend less than that. Like, there's a little trick. So if you only have $80 to spend, $50 to spend, $200 to spend, and your estimated prices are up to that point, you'll know you'll probably come under, as long as you're good and you don't buy extra off your list. So that's why I do it. It's just a little trick I like to do. It works. And yeah, you know, it keeps room in the budget too, just in case there's like one important thing that I forgot, you know, like, oh, I forgot to write bread down or something, you know. So it works like that for me. So in saying that, obviously I've estimated prices for fruit and veg, well, everything, but fruit and veg, I've estimated prices pretty much on Aldi prices, because I know that's cheaper than Coles or Woolworths usually. And when I did look at prices, obviously things were doing that. However, I am going to the cheap fruit and veg shop again this week, and I know that I'll probably come under that. So hopefully there's some money saved and I'll come under that, and it's just going to be obviously getting me closer to that $100 mark. So my first stop is going to be the fruit and veg shop first, and then anything I can't get in there, or if it's not looking great for some reason, because that's why it's so cheap too, it's not going to last as long as the other shops, but it is cheap, and a lot of this stuff I buy we eat within the first couple of days. So I kind of work with that. So I'm going to go there first. So if things are not great or I couldn't get something, then Aldi is my next stop for that. And then after Aldi, I will probably go into Coles, because I'm trying to think of what it was now. There was something on there and I thought, no, I'll probably need to get that at Coles, because I don't think I can get it at Aldi. Oh, breadcrumbs. I don't think I can get that at Aldi. If I can, that would be great, but there's a couple of things. So I'll probably end up at Coles as well, and then I'll come home and show you guys everything I purchased and tell you how much I actually spent this week. Alright, I'm back. This is everything. I do have some things I want to talk to you about at the end of this video. I'll tell you how much I spent. I'll tell you where I'm heading next week with things, because I've changed my mind on what I'm actually going to do next week. And just my thoughts on how I've gone over the last couple of weeks with the challenge. So that's all going to come up. So please wait until the end and listen to that, because it's all really important and it all goes with the challenge. Okay, so I ended up doing obviously the fruit shop, Aldi, and what did I do? Fruit shop, Aldi, Coles, and then I had to go to Woolworths, because believe it or not, Coles did not have bread. So I actually went to Woolworths to get the bread, and this was $1.90. So I was going to get the Coles one because Rachel from One of a Dozen, I know she uses it for her freezer sandwiches, and I guess she thinks it's okay. So the reason I was going to do that is because I bought the Aldi bread last week, and now the Aldi bread used to be fine, but it was a bit dry actually when we got it, when we used it and stuff. So I was like a bit disappointed. So I think they've changed their bread. Something's gone on with it. So I thought I'd try the Coles one and see if it was a bit better. The Coles did not have any at all. So I went to Woolworths and got this one. So this was $1.90 each. I'm not sure how much the Coles one is, to be honest, but this was all right. I kind of looked at it already. It looks better than what the Aldi one did, so I don't know, we'll see how we go. I will say I'm missing the Tip Top bread, definitely. I ended up getting, there was no hot dog rolls, so I was going to get the cheap hot dog rolls at Aldi and they were out, so I actually ended up getting these ones instead at Coles. These were, I think, $2.50. Now these are more of a, what are they, the jumbo ones, but they look just normal size to me, because we're actually going to have, on one of the simple nights, is we're going to have hot dogs in them. So the kids will probably just eat maybe one, or if Joseph's going to eat two, he'll probably just want it in bread because he prefers that than actual buns, because he's not keen now on rolls. Sorry, he's not keen on the outside. It's like a bread end for him. Doesn't like it. He prefers it just being on bread. So there's plenty there for us to do it. Otherwise, I'd probably have to obviously get another one. But that's the thing. Like if it was for us and we're doing 4 people, like adults, have one of these, have some of this, like just mix it up a bit, I guess. So we got those. I got 2 lots of pasta here. Those were 79 cents in Aldi. It's really nice pasta in Aldi. We've tasted different pastas and there's definitely a difference in taste. The Woolworths one, I've said it many times before, the Woolworths brand one, awful. I actually threw it out and we couldn't eat it. Like, it tasted so terrible. I don't know why. But this one's really nice. So I got that. I got these. These are like the Sakatars. My kids absolutely love them. And this is for the morning or afternoon tea sort of section, along with fruit, yogurt. I can cook pancakes. I can do cake. I can do a lot of things because I've still got that flour and everything. So it's really good. But these are great. These are just like the rice crackers. They're not too hard, and sometimes I find some brands are really hard and tough and almost stale. These are not. These are really lovely, and they're only 89 cents. And you can get different flavors, but we just prefer the barbecue ones. So we've got 2 of those. We needed peanut butter, and I also put peanut butter on the meal plan this week because this on rice cakes with fruit and things is so nice. Like whether you do it for lunch or after or afternoon or morning tea, that type of thing, it's delicious. Like especially with strawberries, if you've got room in your budget for strawberries, which I didn't this week, but if you do, it's really yummy. But I got this, so I was going to get the Aldi one because it's $2 something. However, this one, the one that we actually always eat, the smooth, and this is a good size jar. This is 470 grams. This was on special for $3.20. So this was great. So I actually got one of those. I did get tomato soup for the kids and this one for Johnny and I. This is just for a lunch day on the weekend. So we'll just have that with bread and butter. I got rice cakes. I actually wanted the Aldi ones, which are about $1.49, but they were actually sold out, so I couldn't get them. So I got the Coles one, which was slightly more expensive. Crumbs, I got just this packet, which is what, 220 grams. I could have got a bigger box or a bigger bag, but it wasn't in the budget. But this is all I need. I know I can make my own, and maybe I should do that at some point. But this was $1.70 in Coles. I want this because I'm doing up my little chicken nugget bites that are actually on the VIP lounge. It's going to be one of our dinners this week with some veggies on the side. So I got that one there. Fish. I went to get fish in Aldi, again because it's cheaper and it's nice. So I like the Aldi one. However, sold out. There was no fish and there was no chips. So I got potato wedges from Aldi for $1.99 because we actually all love these, which is really good. The fish, because this will be a fish and chips night with some salad on the side. The fish, couldn't get at Aldi, went to Coles, and I got an 8-pack here for, I think it was $7 for the 8-pack. It was more than I was thinking I was gonna spend because first of all I picked up the 1-pack that was, what was it? I think it only had 6 in it. I thought, well, that's not enough for 4 people. So I went with this one, which is enough. So not too bad really for that. And we actually like this brand, it's nice. So I got that one. Milk, I got actually the last 3 2-litre milks at Aldi. That's all I had left, but this was enough. That's all I wanted. Last week I got 2 and it was such a hard stretch. But this week I thought, okay, I'll try to get 3 as I normally would. So we got 3 of those. That's gone up in price. As you know, it's now $3. Well, at Aldi it's $3.09. Everywhere else it's $3.10. I got some cream because I'm doing a carbonara for dinner, and this was $2.09 at Aldi. I got lettuce. Iceberg lettuce this time, which I need to put in the fridge because it's looking a bit sad now. it's been out of the fridge for a while. But $2 at Coles, which I was so happy to see this because Aldi completely out of lettuce. Got the party pack of sausage rolls and party pies, which were, what is that, 18 party pies, 12 sausage rolls. This has gone up a lot. Like, this is a big pack. It's got 30 pieces in it. This was $8.99, so like $9. So that's gone up a lot. I think it's gone up at least $1 from memory from the last time I purchased a big pack. This is actually going to be one of our simple night dinners. So instead of doing takeaway, we're going to do this. So I'm okay with it for that reason, because obviously takeaway would cost me a lot more money, but I was just shocked at the price. Chicken breast, this was, what is this, $14.31. So this chicken's great because I'll use some of it for this week for the chicken nugget bites. They're really nice. They're on the VIP lounge. If you're a VIP member, just look up chicken nugget bites and you'll see the recipe. I'll be doing those with some veggies this week, but I'll still have chicken left over, so that will go into next week, which will be great. What is that, $9.99 a kilo. I can't wait to go back to Costco on a normal shopping week and actually get chicken because it's cheaper there, which is really good. And I think it's Steggles there too. Now, bacon, this is all that I could afford in my budget, which was just under $5 for this, but I actually want this for the bacon carbonara. So we're not going to be using this for breakfast, Johnny and I just need it for that. Hot dogs, these have actually gone up. They're $2.29 now. I used to get them for $1.99, but still it's cheap, so that's good. Cheese, I actually just got the sliced cheese this week and I'm just going to use that, $3.99. Isabella really missed this cheese last week when I bought the other one, so I thought, you know what, we'll alternate. So we got that one, so $3.99. Eggs, this is all they had at Aldi. They actually didn't have that weird brand that was last week. They didn't even have that, they just had these left. These were $3.89. What else am I missing? Oh, yogurt, which is just under $5. I think it's $4.49 from memory. I got this last week. It's actually, the Brooklyn yogurt is good again. There was one point where we used to buy this all the time and then it started tasting a bit different, but we had this last week and it's so nice. Like, it really is like yummy. So I got this because it's such a cheap deal. It's obviously much cheaper than buying pouches. And I'm kind of at the point now where I could put this in Isabella's lunchbox, because she's the one that she really wants the yogurt, so I can put this in a lunchbox and she'd be fine with it. I don't need to worry about the pouches, and they're not great for the car, that's the only thing. But if we have a road trip or something, obviously I'd go pouches, but I think I'll continue on with this from now on because it was really good. Mushrooms were, I think it was $3.79 for this lot. Again, I need that for the bacon carbonara. Okay, and then the fruit shop. I went to the fruit shop and got really cheap stuff again, which is amazing. All of this was like $10.80. Like, it was so cheap. So the bananas I got, oh actually no, the bananas I actually got at Aldi, because the bananas at the fruit shop, which were actually $1 cheaper, they were a bit too ripe, so I wanted them to last a bit longer. So I actually did get these at Aldi, but they were $3.79 at Aldi per kilo. Like, they were pretty expensive, and they cost me just over $4 for these. But the fruit shop, I got the capsicum again, which was great. Now the capsicum cost, it's only $7.99 a kilo, so it cost $3.20 for both of these. The avocado I got for myself because it was 69 cents, and I thought, you know what, I really want that in a ham sandwich for lunches for me, so I got that one. Cucumber, I got just the Lebanese cucumber this time, which we actually prefer because it's not as bitter. Now that was $2.28 for those two, and that was $7.99 a kilo. So for $2.28, I'm okay with that, because I think, look at the size of it, how much you get. It was actually a better deal than actually buying a full of the other cucumber I got last week, so that was good. Carrots were $1.49 again. They were fine, obviously, because they're cheap. There's the brand there, I don't even know it, but because they're cheap, obviously they're a bit more like the Odd Bunch. Like I said, they got bits and pieces, different sizes, but I don't care because I just get them, peel them, cut them up. So I don't care what size they are. I just want the amount, like the 1 kilo. So that was a good price. And then lastly, my Pink Lady apples, which I got a ton of them this time, over a kilo. Now they're so cheap. They are, and they were really good today too. $1.89 a kilo. So the whole bag cost me $3 because it was, what is it, 1.59 kilos. So happy with that. We love apples. It's just one of those things. So if I can get a good deal on Pink Lady apples specifically, that's what we like to buy. You can see there's the little tag in there. This is a great deal. So we grabbed those. Now the trick was, any other time I've walked into that fruit and veg shop, I've just gone to the apples. They've been really like at the front of the store, and I go through all the apples and pick and, you know, try to find ones that are okay, because obviously they're very cheap per kilo, so they're not perfect, you know what I mean? So you go through that. Today I actually went to the back of the store first because I thought it was too busy near the apples, so I went to the back of the store. Well, I found a whole thing there, which obviously the better apples are at the back because then they rotate them. So these are actually all perfect. So they're so good. So very, very happy with that. Oh, I've put the groceries away and I'm warmed up. I've changed and I've warmed up. All right. Oh my goodness, it's getting late. All right. So how did I go? Much better than last week, I'll tell you that, because I had so many different things that I could cross over into this week, which is the whole point, obviously, to keep an ongoing thing. Like I said, always shop from the pantry, all of that. But I did spend $110.59, so I'm still $10 over. However, I'm still, what am I, about $10 less than what I estimated, I think. So that's really good. I got everything off my list, I think. I spent more on the fish than expected, but I spent less on other things because I overestimated. So it kind of made up for it. So that was really good. What I want to say is there's a couple of things. So moving forward, I was going to do this for 4 weeks, but I've decided not to, just because kind of the things I've kind of learned over the last couple of weeks. You know, I've been doing this kind of stuff for years and years and years, like so many years. And the thing is that I always, like, especially in the last couple of years, you know, I want to teach about the meal planning or how I do things and blah blah blah. Works for me, might not work for you, but if it does, fantastic. My whole thing is obviously shopping fortnightly. That's what you should do. And I think if you learn anything from last week and this week is, this is how you can do it, this is how you can save money. So if I kept continuing on, of course it would do that. But I don't want to encourage people to shop weekly like I have been the last 2 weeks. It's just a very bad idea. Like doing your main bulk stuff, I really want people to try, at least, if you're struggling with budget or you just want to reduce your money you're spending and stuff, I want you to try to do fortnightly. I want you to try to do your main shop in the first week and then a top-up shop in the second week. Now, I've got that obviously done and my budget sets and everything, and 9 times out of 10 I come under budget and everything's great. What I have learned is that I could probably even do better than my budget. Right now, how I budget, it's for my main shop, it's $70 per anyone age 14 years plus. That's kind of how I do it. And then it's $50 for anyone under the age of that. So for me, for my main shop, it's $240 is the main shop budget. And then in the second week is whatever I'm budgeting for an adult or 14 years plus is what I have for the top-up shop. Now it wasn't like that. Before COVID, it was actually just $50 per person for the main shop, so it's $200 and then $50 in the second week for the top-up shop. With everything that went up, it went up pretty quickly when things started running out, stuff with COVID and like the toilet paper, all of that. People were buying out things, they couldn't get staff, there were a lot of natural disaster things going on, and just prices went up. That's what happened. And I really did struggle to, you know, keep it that $50 per person. So I increased it slightly to try to work within that budget. And it took me a bit, but I did it and it was great. So I think what I want to try to do, and I think it's a very healthy budget to have, because, you know, when we go on holidays and stay in different states and different places and stuff in Australia, whether you're in the city or the country, prices are different everywhere. So I thought to myself, what's worked for us when we've gone on holidays was that $70, you know, per adult and $50 per child seemed to work. What I do want to try to do though is actually, because I think, like, I look at how much I spent last week and even this week, and I know I would have spent less than that if I would shopped from the pantry like I normally do. Like, it's my one thing with meal planning, that I definitely would have actually spent a lot less, which means I could grab that money and put it into our savings for our holiday. So what I want to do, which is coming up towards the end of the year, so what I want to do is really sort of look at next week and treat it as a normal fortnight. So next week I would be due to do my main shop, so I'm going to do that, but I'm going to try to get less, like spend less than my budget, less than the $240. So I'm thinking maybe $200 might be my budget. I'm going to try to do that, and then the top-up shop the next week $50. So that for me is what, $125 per week. So that's even less than what I spent in the 2 weeks just gone combined together. So I'm going to try that. That works out $50 a person. It's what I used to do. And if you look at that extreme grocery, what was it, extreme grocery challenge or something. It was labeled something like that from a couple of years ago. When I did this, I got so much more for my money, and I could have easily done what I did. Like, I was planning breakfast, lunch, dinner, morning tea, afternoon tea, and desserts for 7 days, and I spent, I think it was only about $120. Like, it was not much for the week, and that was everything from scratch. It wasn't even shopping from the pantry and stuff, and they were proper meals, like vegetables, and there was fruit, and it was just very well planned and done. And if I bought everything now that I bought then, it really would have been way over like what I actually spent now. I think it would be up near the 150 probably mark. Like, that's how crazy prices have gone. So I think, I don't know, moving forward, I'm going to try to spend less on my actual budget and see how I go. Like, if I can do that, I think the difference is, for me in the last 2 weeks, what I've done is, because I'm like, no, the $100 is my target. If it's gone over, it's still way under my budget, my normal budget. But if it's gone over, I'm like, no, I need to get it lower. So I really meal plan nitty gritty stuff. And I've made cheaper choices. For example, the bread. Now, the bread that I purchased tonight, I don't know what happened with the Aldi bread. The Aldi bread has definitely changed since I used to buy it. That is for sure. I probably wouldn't recommend the Aldi bread because it just was so dry. Like, it really was. And that was on the first day of having it. That Woolworths bread was actually really nice and really good. I straight away, after I packed all the groceries up, I made my freezer sandwiches for the kids' school lunches. A few for me, like only 3 for me, and then 3 for Johnny for some day shifts that he's got to do. Otherwise we'll do rice cakes and stuff at home, probably Johnny and I. We'll do something else. Whatever I've got on that meal plan is what I'll do. So I made them up straight away, and I tried, like, I made myself a sandwich just to try the bread, and it was great. Like, it really was. So doing the freezer sandwiches and freezing it is going to keep that bread really nice. And when the kids actually open it up, I felt bad this week for the kids eating that Aldi bread because it really was dry. They still ate it, but it wasn't nice. They still ate it, but I felt bad about it. And it really wasn't nice. It was great for toasting, but not for sandwiches at all. Whereas this Woolworths bread is actually really good. Now, that was what, $1.90. We love the Tip Top bread. We've been buying that, and largely because of the size of it too. Like, it's just better for Johnny. However, if I'm getting the bread at $1.90, then he can just have more bread. I think it'll still work out better financially. So I think I'm going to swap to that bread for a little while, see how we go. What was the other thing I was thinking? So that was a smarter choice, obviously. I don't know, I just think I'm always very good and very on with the budget, but I will, most of the time nowadays, actually spend up to the amount, up to that $240, because I'm like, well, that's what I've got. I can spend that. Let's have extra in the cupboard. Let's do this and that. I think I'm just going to be, I don't know, a little bit more frugal with it. And frugal doesn't mean not spending money and being really cheap. It's just getting best value out of your money. And, like, for example, I buy Bird's Eye frozen vegetables, which are nearly double the price of the Coles brand or home brand vegetables. But for us, we'll eat the Bird's Eye vegetables. The other stuff tastes really bland and we don't like it. Even Johnny and I don't like it. We don't eat it. So being frugal about that is, you know, not wasting stuff, buying what's a better value for us. So I'm just gonna, I don't know, make some smarter choices, I think, moving forward, and see how we go. So, because I want to do what I teach you guys, you know, and I thought I was, but looking at the last 2 weeks, I'm thinking I could do better myself. So I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna have more money, not gonna be starving ourselves. Obviously we've got extra snacks and stuff like that in the cupboard as to what I've purchased now, because that we do. So we're not going hungry and starving ourselves or anything like that. So yeah, I don't know. We'll just see how the next few weeks unfold. So definitely come back, watch the channel, see how I go. And yeah, just gonna try to do better than what I've even been doing. That's gonna be my thing. The key too is trying to be organized about it, and it is very difficult at the moment when I'm super busy with the shops, and I don't think that's gonna calm down because I opened the second shop. So where I had time before to clean the house and do more stuff with YouTube and the meal planning stuff and that, my time's running thin because of the shops. So I need to definitely be more organized and do everything I normally do, but step it up just a notch. So I'm getting better value out of everything, I think, even my time basically. So I'm looking forward to some changes, and hopefully it works out, and yeah, I can share it with you guys. So hopefully the videos were somewhat helpful for you over the last 2 weeks. Definitely come back and see how I go from now on. VIP members, I'm going to try to do more on the VIP lounge when it comes to those meal plan with me videos, kind of explaining I don't know how I'm going to try to get with this budget. You know, I might actually have more to tell you, so I would like to do that, but we'll see how we go. But anyway, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you probably tomorrow. Bye.